Elitom El-amin. It's Athena StarSeed. I absolutely adore you. I am so excited. This is our second out of 11 Pranic StarBody Activation Retreat Lecture Series for our 7-day retreat in California.
Absolutely. And I love every bit of it too. We're doing this. This is time, and the forces that's moving us along, people got to understand that this isn't really coming from us as an individual ego. This is coming from the forces because it's time for all of humanity. Even though we're growing, we get into this individual growth, we're also growing collectively because every generation is the same generation. So this is wonderful. We're basically living in, how they say time don't exist. We're living in one big day. This is a continuance.
So I would like to start our big day with a prayer, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd like to open up the dimension. So if everybody can just take a nice deep breath, inhale, exhale. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light return to earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men and women. May the Christ return to earth. In the center, where the will of God is known, let the center guide the little wills of men, the center which the masters know and serve. May it seal the door where evil dwells. May
all right.
Love, light, and power restore heaven on earth. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Father Sky, Mother Earth, from the point of light that connects us all, please be in the sacred circle of light and allow me and Elitom El-amin to be a clear channel for all involved. Amen and amen.
Amen.
We're in.
Wonderful. You can feel the change and the shift just by doing that prayer. This is how powerful these connections and these forces are. Don't you feel the shift in the atmosphere? Look at you with your wings. Heaven must be missing an angel.
Heaven is here. We brought heaven with us. We brought it with us. It's here.
This is awesome, ain't it? Wonderful time we're having. So we got this big Pranic retreat coming up. This is exciting that this is coming up. The first of its kind. And this is beautiful because, like we said, we're actually dealing with opening up these portals. As we say, heaven is here. That high state of consciousness in the earth is now here in this realm. People ask me sometimes, how did my life go? And I say, I'm living in heaven. I don't have problems. And this is hard for a person to relate to that because they're used to, sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, sometimes you do this. It doesn't happen like that when you come into alignment with these forces. So dealing with the pranic journey, being sustained by it, that's an indication right there that you're aligned with creation. Of course, nothing bad going to happen to you. The universe is user-friendly. So we're coming out of that fear-based frequency, coming more into a frequency of peace, joy, happiness, fun. Everything's user-friendly. You can trust yourself, trust the universe, and trust your neighbor. This is all a reality. Oh my gosh.
So I feel, okay, I want to go into the, okay, so fear is a frequency, it's a dimension, and you're right. When you kind of go above the fear dimension, you get into more of a love, unconditionally, bliss, ineffable. You're moving up this tone scale. However, maybe some of the people listening to this, they might be oscillating in and out of this fear dimension once a month when the bill comes in or when the rent's due. And
right.
This is why I wrote the book, The Celebration Story for No Reason, because we do have to, before we get into that higher state, we got to go through the door of the shadow. So let's talk a little bit about facing the shadow and the fear that you can't, you're too old, you're too broke, you're too this,
right.
You've never done it before, and everybody's saying you can't become a breatharian.
Right, and absolutely, because you know what? And that's why this is a process. Everybody has to go through their own wilderness. To face their own shadow. The serpent, you know, the symbology of it is in each and every one of us. So you have to go through that. Me, myself, even though I'm talking this, that I'm in heaven and came into this mind, I had my trials and tribulations to come into this state of being. It was my own personal little thing, but I had to go through it, just like everybody else do. Because the more you start purging yourself, I put a post on social media today, people are trying to fast their way into breatharianism. And I'm like, wait a minute now. There's a reason why we got these tools of meditation, working with the light, so it can cleanse you on a cellular level. This is going deeper than just the physical body.
I have goosebumps. You're giving me goosebumps right now. It's so true. It's not really about the body, although we do have to clean the first layer of the body within the body within the body, which is a physical body, but it's not a physical thing. We're really talking about prana and the energy.
Absolutely. And this is the old saying they say, it's easier to correct the world than to correct yourself.
And when you put yourself together, the world comes together.
It comes together. That's
together.
why it says, seek ye first the kingdom which is inside of you. Everything else will lay out. This is it. This is why this is called the great work. And a lot of people do like to, hide behind on their external works. But this is a whole nother level now. We're changing actually the look of spirituality. We're really going deep inside to bring this forth in order to change the world. We're doing it right now. Every time you change yourself, you just change the collective reality. You affected everything around you. Just like on our last video, you were saying about, once one change comes, it's like a domino effect. Because the laws of the universe, that the higher vibration automatically would change or alter the lower vibration. We got to keep this in mind.
So right now, I do want to actually show you a little bit. So I'm in my temple, okay? And
right.
I just want to show you, the vibe at the temple. So I have Ramana Maharishi here.
Awesome.
Who went into silence. And that was a practice, a fasting of speech to save energy for contemplation. Meditation is really key and integral to breatharianism because you have to know who you are to know where you're going, to know what you can do. Okay?
Absolutely.
And here I have this beautiful altar because I feel that when you look at life as sacred, and if you see yourself as sacred, that your home becomes your body's temple and your body is your soul's temple. And this
absolutely.
And so, obviously like Siddhartha and Christ and Krishna and Babaji, these beings, yes, they went through their own process. They were like way showers for us. Like who else do I have?
Right.
Kuan Yin. Let's put Kuan Yin up here so you can see a little bit of Kuan Yin. Okay. What happens is it's about reverence and respect. And I like that you are no nonsense about your respect. You don't mind telling people, I'm not going to eat your food. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit in a bar and drink alcohol with you just to bond. I'm not going to watch sports and waste my life force.
Right, absolutely. And that's what it's all about. You start opening up because spirituality is the exploration of consciousness. See, we use that word heathen, and what does that mean? A heathen lifestyle. That means that you're basically wasting your time.
Wasting your time.
Right. And our goal of being here, we heard this before, but now it's more true than ever. Your goal to be here is actually to ascend, to resurrect.
Right.
Going into death into life, to transform yourself. Everything else is just an experience, but you shouldn't have to stay there. You understand? It's time to outgrow it, put it down like a kid playing with a toy, and go off into your next level. That's
how many lifetimes? This is what one of my Babas said. How many lifetimes are you going to come back around again on this wheel and then say, I forgot I made a commitment. I forgot who I was. I got lost in my mundane, mediocre, average, lukewarm life.
Absolutely. Because that's why I tell people, like, what I'm doing now, I was born to do this. No ifs, buts, or ands about it.
Yes.
This is no game. You woke up. Everything else, this is what I'm here to do.
And you know,
what's that?
Everybody's here to do something. And they
right.
can't remember what they're here to do because they're clogged up. And they have to have time and also respect for themselves. So I want to talk about self-respect and self-love, because if you don't respect yourself, you won't give yourself time to fast or time to meditate or time to have a retreat.
Absolutely. And you said the key words, and this is key. To clog yourself up, you just lowered your consciousness.
Right.
See, this is what we mean by spiritual blindness. People don't know it because they're living in it.
Right.
There's times I'm around people and I know they can't spiritually see or energetically see. And you can tell when somebody eats something real heavy, they start talking different, start thinking different. They don't even notice it.
Listen, I want to just say something. When I started doing my 100-day process, I all of a sudden had all this extra energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, the clutter was louder. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about? And I was like, oh, I got to clean this. And then that led to me cleaning that. And then and before you know it, I was like wanting to empty everything out. And then when I had a couple clients come in and they put things on the counter, for them, it's not a big deal because they were in a different state of consciousness. For me, it was loud, like somebody was yelling at me in the kitchen.
Right, absolutely. Whole different ball game of what you can
feel
see.
It in my aura. I can feel their clutter and I can feel their thoughts when they come in and they do this. Like, oh, whoa. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, like people say in spirituality, they say you got to develop this sixth sense. You know, we play around with the word, but it's a feeling state. I mean, you feel differently and you want to stay and maintain that feeling state. There is a state you feel where you feel a lot more lighter. That's where we get the word enlightenment. You feel that unclutter coming out. And then when you keep bouncing back and forth, where people will go through, that's okay. That's part of the process. But you're going to start weighing it out to say, I don't want to feel like that no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to be blind, feel dense, feet swelling, hips hurting. See, the only time you think about your shoulder is when it's hurting. The only time you think about your knee is when it's hurting. So therefore, when it's not hurting, you're not thinking about it because it don't exist.
Right.
So in other words, you want to develop and get a nobody. You don't want nobody. You want to be a nobody.
You want to be a zero.
You want to be a zero. So people
zero.
actually get what? Pain, sickness, and disease from trying to be somebody.
First of all, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I was studying with Dr. Hugh Len. He's a kahuna from Hawaii, and he does a process called Ho'oponopono. So in 2006, a friend of mine flew me to South Carolina, and for 3 days, as a personal trainer, I studied with all these doctors. And the first thing he did was wrote down a bunch of equations on a chalkboard, and he said, this is your mind, and this is why you have problems, because you've got data. And all the data slows down your field. So he erased the whole chalkboard and he said, you got to be a zero.
Right. Absolutely. The thinking is what getting everybody in trouble. Thinking. Right. It's giving things power that is not true. You're trapped in your illusion. That's why in meditations, they usually say, and all of them, no matter what it is, first relax. Get in a comfortable position. Just by doing that, that's the first basics, but it's the main one.
Yeah.
And the thoughts start slowing down. The breath automatically start dropping before you do anything else. That's the basics right there. And just watch the thoughts go by. The old folks used to say, just because a bird fly over your head, don't mean you have to let them build a nest there. Right.
So I want to talk a little bit about very extraordinarily successful people, billionaires. Okay, I want to talk about billionaires. Billionaires have one thing in common: 2/3 of billionaires have a military background. 2/3 of those 2/3 have a martial arts background. Billionaires, okay?
Right.
And what do you think military background and martial arts background have as their common denominator?
Consistency
and discipline.
And discipline.
You got it.
Right. And that's where that word disciple come from. Discipline.
Discipline.
So that is a level that's very important. And it goes hand in hand. The discipline, basically, what I said, consistency, they're consistent in their work because they practice, they developed, they got an ethic together, a work ethic.
Right.
24/7. Stay consistent. 24/7.
365. They don't just turn off and on their motivation or their discipline. They have habit patterns of excellence. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The way you put your shoes down, the way you sweep the floor, the way you wash the dish, the way you...
Exactly. And see, somewhere along the line, spirituality has gotten hijacked where people just got lazy and said, just believe.
Right.
And that's not what we're talking about.
That's slavery.
That's slavery. That's what puts you in bondage for being too lazy. Procrastination. If you're going to take on a transformation, there is a great work. This is why this is called the great work. You are actually going back into the idea of alchemy. where you are actually changing something from a lower base element to another. But it's your great work to keep that pressure, to keep that molding, to keep that building, to go through the aches and pains. And then when it comes out, it's a great work of art that you put in. This is what people got to understand. This is the great work, which will show the show of power. This is a great artwork.
So to be like our Father and I are one, the Son, to be the Son, we do have to emulate the artist within ourselves. We have to carve our statue David out of the stone. We are like stone. And a lot of people their aura is thick and their pineal gland is calcified and they have all of these emotional problems. They have all of these mental problems. And of course, if they ignore it on those two higher levels, they're going to have physical problems. So absolutely, we do have to have discipline. We have to exchange procrastination for transformation, and we have to have a plan. Let's talk about the plan. We got to have a plan. We got to have coaching. We have to have a plan. We have to have structure.
Absolutely. And this what makes us different than other animals, that we can make a plan. We can carry it through. We can recognize universal laws that seem invisible, but we can learn them and start implementing in our lives these principles. Now, the good thing about this great work, it's different than what people think from the old way that we've been thinking about work. In other words, there was a time, no pain, no gain. But now we got enough information where there's no brains, no gain. You got to go learn something and implement it.
Every day you can learn from a leaf. If you sit underneath of a tree and you contemplate, eventually that leaf will start talking.
Oh, absolutely. And the good thing again about this great work, you're going to learn how to do action within inaction. Now, that don't mean laziness. This means
you're not getting away with anything.
Right. This just means you're going to what? Not put yourself or avoid the stressful situations, you understand, and look for a natural way, a better way to flow your energy like a gentle summer breeze. So life is there for you and will guide you so you don't have to be all stressful no more. Look for the best way that's always there. There's always a door open for your development. So you start opening up, you start listening, because nature is speaking to those who are listening. We are nature.
It's a flow state.
Right.
Athletes call it the zone, but I feel that a lot of people in business call it a state of flow, because when you're in that state of flow, the universe is corresponding to your song. The frequency is actually bringing you towards your destiny.
Absolutely. And it wants to do that. So this is a great work, a good work, but all we got to do is stay consistent. Don't forget who you are. Every time you breathe, you already connected. It don't matter how you feel. So even like when you was talking about the billionaires and stuff, what they got in common, see, one thing for sure, they didn't feel the same way every day. It didn't have nothing to do with that.
Right.
Well, I'm going anyway because this is what I do.
Right.
You become one with your work. So that's what people got to understand.
And I want to say that when you're in a group, it's easier if the people are all on the same vibration, just to get the keynote. We talked about musicians before. When someone's playing really well and you're playing with a really excellent virtuoso, your skills get better. When you're with somebody like you that's a leader that has been doing this for more than 2 decades, that has taken hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of groups and thousands of people through these processes, what happens is birds of a feather flock together. We get on a frequency wave with you, and we don't have to know what we're doing. We're all going to turn at the same time. That's like Tai Chi. And and the other thing I want to mention is some of the billionaire coaching that I listen to basically says, show me who your 5 friends are and I'll show you your future. Are you hanging out with beer drinkers and meat eaters and low vibrational people? And like you said, I know where humanity's at. Porn is the #1 thing people are watching. That's a consciousness. We're still not overcoming our second lust chakra. And to climb that tree of life that you're going to be teaching us, we have to get over fear, which is our base chakra, lust, which is our second chakra, greed and power, which is our third chakra. And our heart, we have to open it up and forgive everybody that ever hurt us and the whole world. And then our third eye, we have to see the truth. And to get to the third eye, you have to be clean.
Exactly. And see, look at this. You started from the bottom coming up. Our ancestors been using this symbology that's all around us, showing this serpent, this power coming up the caduceus, coming up the spinal cord. So you hit it right in layers. People try to start from the top and act like something is going to happen. Just grow, just like a plant shows us. Blossom, open up. Because the old saying is, if you what? Try to force a flower to open, you're going to destroy it.
Right. Yes. Yes. And the same with the butterfly. If a butterfly is in the chrysalis, and from the Greek word chrysalis means crisis. So chrysalis is breakthrough, not break down. But you do have to realize you're going through a chemical reconstruction to turn from a land creature into a flying creature. That butterfly needs that discipline, and needs that strength, and needs that meditation on a daily basis at the same time, early before the sun. So it has empty minds. Like when I'm meditating, I don't have everybody's mind open because most of the people are still sleeping.
Exactly.
Or if you're on a mountain, you're in a higher elevation and you don't hear everybody's thoughts, especially if you're in
right. Absolutely. Right? And now you said the key words about this synergy, getting together with the people who's on this frequency. That will always pick you up, always boost you. And for me, myself, I admit, when I travel around and people's with me in my presence, they start thinking this way. They start talking this way. They start working on themselves, looking at themselves. It's an automatic given. And even on the places I traveled and worked with different groups, I understand that it's like a responsibility I took to go back to those places because, you know, the plant came up, now you got to come water. Then you got to come weed till people get strong enough to be able to carry that vibration on their own. So this is what...
Yeah, I was going to say, right, like, I mean, 7 days is a good little soak to get wet, right?
Absolutely,
but
right.
We're doing some things in the future that might be 10 days. Or might be 15 days. We're going to be expanding. We're going to allow the universe to continue to play us like instruments, and we're going to receive the data. However, you're going to have 11 lectures. We already did one last week. We're going to have one single week on Thursday. So we're going to help people get ready to get ready to get ready. And they're going to have to start dropping the layers that don't serve them.
And absolutely. And see, we hear this word now, frequency and vibrations. Change your frequency, change your vibration. But this is what we're doing. This is the great work again. You're going to actually change and transform yourself. This is very powerful. This is no little thing at all that we're doing. Absolutely not. That's why when people come to these retreats, everybody about the third day, I usually ask the question, don't you feel you could be food free right now? And everybody kind of feel their energy and say, yeah, I can see it. And that's what we want people to do. First, see it for themselves. That's your energy. You're working with it. You're in the right atmosphere, the right condition. See, like, look at this. They just found a tree in North Carolina that's 2,600 years old. And the trees around it is 1,000.
That's older than the Buddha. That's older than the Buddha.
Right. And this is powerful because a tree is basically a plant, but it don't have an expiration date on when it needs to go. If it's in the right habitat, it will keep continuing. Most trees are perennials, meaning they'll come back the next year, you know, where the leaves change. And then we got the trees who last all year long, like the pine trees. Those are both telling us a story. So when our ancestors used us as, you know, the tree of life that all cultures have, and they put us in that same category, we too are like perennials. We change throughout the years. We change throughout the seasons. But we don't have to degenerate. We know now that if we put ourselves in the right condition with the right knowledge, you can keep continuing. And what makes us different than trees, we can go directly to the source. If the plant can get energy from the sun, so can you. We do human photosynthesis, and this knowledge is coming out more and more. The hemoglobin. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's also in the pyramids of Egypt. If you look at the pharaohs, they hold their hands like this. It shows you the rays catching them. Every 26,000 years, we're in an upgraded cycle where humanity has the opportunity to become immortal through the rays of sun. And
here we go.
they give you that, and they show you the tree of life between the two people. If you look at those paintings, even if you can't read hieroglyphics, your
Right.
psyche knows. Your
Guess
psyche
what?
knows.
I just put that picture on social media today, as you're saying.
You did?
Yeah. Soon as you look at it today, it's already on there.
I'm on your frequency. You and I are now telepathic. And listen, here's the thing. I channeled about 15 years ago. I used to get small groups and I would be just channeling. And I was like, you know, people thought I was crazy. But I would say after 2012, there'll be a point where these cities of angels are all going to gather and the people are going to start to be telepathic. And because we're telepathic, I might have something that you need. Like I might have said, oh, look, I have a house. And you say, oh, well, I have some technology data and I know the Qigong. Oh, well, somebody says, oh, well, I have a Tesla. Here, you can borrow my car. We're going to know what to hand each other. We're not going to have to ask each other anymore.
Exactly. That is so real. Because actually, now check this out. Like when I tell people I'm living in heaven because my frequency went up, that's actually what kind of life I'm living now.
I know. I know. I'm like this. I'm with you.
And I just want to share this information with people because like we said, this is the great work. Stay consistent, but this is a good work. It's easy once you understand. You can start really trusting the universe. It's in all of our favor. All we got to do is grow up, stop crying, and get off of that survival level, which is in the first and second chakra, and you was hitting it. Allow this energy to come up, and it will permeate and open up everything within us. Will we all be able to see? And just like you said, we'll have what each person needs, and life will go so much easier. See, once we change, we are the government. We will have the power to change this whole world. That's what we're doing right now. Once we change ourselves, we change reality. This is so awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So I want to go back to, just for anybody who has been stuck in their shadow, I want to just say it's no excuse. And at the same time, you have to do your process. So we have 2 books that we would like you to order to be a prerequisite so that you can understand that you can let go of the crutches, and we have a support system for you that you'll be able to incorporate in your plan to activate your light body. So his nuggets of wisdom, the breatharian wisdom, are his little drips throughout his processes of like little one-lining quotes that might like make the whole difference of a day. Sometimes one quote will shift your paradigm. And if you can paradigm shift, you can jump an octave. And then the Celebration Story for No Reason is the book that I channeled. And it's really, I'd like everybody to get it, and don't do the work in it yet. Just read it, because when you come to the retreat, every day we're going to use pastels, and we're going to color it out, and we're going to discuss it, and we're going to talk about it, because you need to review the files and release the files. Because if you don't learn the lesson, I'm going to tell you, this is a very important lesson. One time I had a client and they had a demon, and I was like, I don't know what came over me, but I was talking to this energy and I was trying to cast this demon out. And the demon was like, you know what? I'm actually doing my job. You need to back up. And I was like, oh, they're ready to let go. I'll know, and I'll leave, and I'll do my work someplace else, but I'm helping them grow. And I was like, oh, okay. Everything's God. Everything's omnipresent. Your shadow is knocking on your door to get your attention, to talk about fear. So invite the shadow in for a cup of tea. Ask the shadow to teach you. Look at the files. Okay, I'm afraid of letting go of my weight. Why? Because maybe I was raped. I was raped. I had to look at that. I had to forgive my rapist. I might have been afraid to do things physically because I was in a wheelchair, and I thought, oh my gosh, if I water ski or if I rock climb, I could break my leg and be in a wheelchair again. I had to face that. So I did stunt work, and I jumped off buildings, and I faced my fear. And then you have to open up your heart. Oh, my heart got broken because somebody betrayed me. My boyfriend cheated on me, and I wanted to get married. Okay, you got to open that heart up. You have to forgive them. You know what? What is yours, you cannot lose. If that was your true partner, then they would still be here. If it's not, it's out of harmony. You have to keep moving forward, loving the adversity, turn your wounds into wisdom. When you do that, we're talking about lead to gold. That alchemical vibrational shift brings the wound into higher levels of wisdom, which is consciousness at its best. And then the universe is user-friendly. It's always user-friendly. The universe is intelligent. It's working on your behalf through
Right.
the dark night of the soul, through the enlightenment, through the bliss field, through the heaven on earth. It's always, in all ways, in your favor.
This is awesome. And I'm glad how you hit everything. I couldn't say it better myself. But that is the journey right there. This is beautiful. And like we're saying, there's all of us are one. And like I said, this is what I was born to do. This is what you were born to do. We're giving our all, and we want to really just doing our job. To get this information, just let it channel on through, because that's what we're working with. To see this happen, see this take place, and the light is doing it for all of us. It's here now, and this is the great paradigm shift that we're in. You gotta love it.
So when we say enjoy the journey, let's talk about enjoy the journey, enjoy the rain, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the low tide of your temperament, enjoy the high tide, gather the information, step away from your feelings, witness your body going through the highs and the lows. And I tell you, when you live on prana, you don't have as many emotional reactions.
Absolutely. This is so awesome. I was just talking to somebody yesterday. They said, wow, you don't pick sides. I didn't have to pick sides. All I had to do was listen, to different situations and understand them, because everything was still working out good on everybody's behalf. But it takes training. You got to stay in this. This is a good thing that we're doing. This is a good thing that we're in. And we're so glad that the universe is revealing this. We're in the age of revelation. It is revealing itself to us. This is awesome. So this is like a given. The light wants this to happen. So don't look at yourself that you can't make these changes. You just don't know me. I'm stuck. No, you're not. This is the time where it's really user-friendly. And like we said, the more and more people that come into this, it actually makes the atmosphere a lot lighter.
It does. 100%. I want to mention Revelations. So Revelations is opening the 7 seals. So you have 7 chakras. And when you open those chakras and you let that light in, and that light it pours through you, of course, imagine a tube of light, like a fountain of Niagara Falls coming through and shining like a traffic lamp through you, 7 lights of bright light. Of course, you increase the vibrational wattage in the field. That's what Jesus did. He walked through the village and his aura got so expanded, people could feel the energy and start healing just off of his auric field.
Right, absolutely. And this is where we're at, from myth to reality. And each and every individual can live this now. See, the power of duality, it leads you back into non-duality. So like you said, this is no enemy no more.
No enemy. There's no enemy.
There's only one power, one force that's operating everything. Oneness, the unity consciousness. We won. It's over with.
We O-N-E and W-O-N. Sometimes when I have clients that come in and I do readings at the Mystic Journey bookstore in Abbot Kinney in Venice, which is a really amazing place. If you're ever in LA, come and see me. But some people are in the lower astral belt, and what they say is, I'm fighting a demon. I'm fighting a demon. There's a dark side. I have to fight the government. I have to, and I was like, there's nobody out there. There's no enemy within, there's no enemy without. And it's a little minute for them to shift to get that, because they feel they have to fight an adversary. They want to be a warrior and they want to fight against somebody to make a wrong right. And they don't understand that it's all connected. It's all perfect. It's all in harmony. There's a web unfolding.
Absolutely. And there's no coincidence. All of this is in our favor. So again, at this great retreat that we're going to have, we're working on all of this. We're going to be the best we can be to really shine up this great stone, this great diamond that's in us. You understand? To keep taking it to another level. We're going all the way with it. This is the time, this is the age, and everything is just coming in place. So again, if people who are called to this, you understand, when that synergy gets together and we transform, we're transforming the whole vibration of the earth. Everything. The whole ship is going up. This is what it's all about. And we're going to be in what? Los Angeles, the place of the angels.
And you know something? All of the mountains are named after the saints who were transforming their body. Saint Monica, Saint Gabriel, Barbara. Do you know what I'm saying? There are all these saints gathered over here. There is a very thin veil. Let me just tell you, the portals are very open. In Venice, it's even a thinner veil. So you'll be able to see, like I was walking on the beach, I saw light shoot out of a dog's eyes. And I was like, did you just see that? My client was like, yes, what was that? When the veil gets thin, there's light behind everything.
Everything, absolutely. And this is what we're talking about again. This is going to be a great thing. We're in the right location, right place, right people, right time. Everything's perfect. And we're going forward. So again, for the people who really want to get there, don't let nothing hold you back. Go ahead and transform. We're doing this. Me, myself, I'm looking so forward to this. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to really just keep moving forward. This is good. This is a great life to live, a great journey to be on. Nothing else matters anymore. Right. This is it. We're resurrecting all the way.
I want to mention that the retreat starts on the 11th of November and it goes to the 18th. It's 7 days. It will be at the Sound Palace. This is a beautiful home, and it's really, really wonderful. We have a medicine wheel in the backyard. There's a pool. There'll be a jacuzzi. There's going to be enough space for everybody to have a lot of alone time, and also we're going to be together a lot. We're going to go to the beach, and we're going to walk the beach and do some hiking. We're also going to go to Point Doom in Malibu and walk the sea cliffs, and you're going to give a satsang, which is a conscious talk to help us evolve through some storytelling and some real experience of your own life. I do want to mention that right now the retreat is $432, and that's a harmonic, and that is the early bird special for September. Then in October, it's going to go to $528, and then right before the retreat, it's going to go up again. So check out the Facebook page. There's a link below, and don't really delay, because you know what? If you invest in yourself, pray for a sign. Just say, God, is this supposed to be for me? Is this supposed to be for me? Sit inside yourself, tune in, ask for a sign. I saw a shooting star yesterday. I was driving home, I saw a shooting star, and I was like, whoa. And that gave me the faith to take some risks. So yesterday, I actually test drove my dream car, a Tesla.
Oh, that's awesome. I seen your picture.
You know, I've been dreaming about a Tesla for 15 years. And before doing this 100-day process, I was like, I can't drive a Tesla. I'm never going to afford a Tesla. Tesla's blah, blah, blah. It's right. No, it's not going to be for me. I just put myself in a no. And then I started cleansing and prana and meditating and detoxing and all that, not eating for 40 days. And now I'm like, what if I drove it? And then once I drove it, I was like, how could I? And then I realized I just trade my car in. I get, what if? So then I drive it, and the lady says to me, oh, just take it home. She literally said, just take it home, okay? So I was like, you're going to give me this car. It's like the $40,000 car, and I'm just going to take it home. She said, yeah. And I said, okay, I'll bring it back tomorrow. And so look at this car. It's in my driveway. It's blue.
Tesla.
Look at that. It's a Tesla.
And what that means is it's going off of another energy source.
It is. It's going off of another energy source. It's so
This
beautiful.
is what we're talking about. Not only our external things is going off another energy source, we are too.
We are
changing in society.
possible. When you believe in who you are and you know who you are, if you sit long enough, like Ramana Maharishi said, you'll remember who you are. And when you know who you are, you'll know that you're an extension of the universe. And the universe is an out-pictured personification externally of who you are. And I want to show you this. We're in the middle of a Ganesha energy. Let me see here. Can you see Ganesha? Let me put him up there.
How you doing, Ganesha?
Can you see him? I don't know if you can see him. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, so you can see him. So it was his birthday 2 days ago, and it's like an 11-day portal, and it's just an aspect of who we are. It says to us, remove your obstacles.
Right.
Remove your obstacles. Just remove your obstacles.
That's what it's all about. Remove the obstacles.
Remove your obstacles. And here is Coco Pelli, and Coco Pelli tells us, play your life like a flute. You said I'm a Pied Piper, right? Did you say you're a Pied Piper?
Do, 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 do. Absolutely. Playing the music, playing the harmonics that's already in us.
And here
we go again.
Here's a light body right here.
Right. And that is taking place with us if people understand it. And you can harmonize that now. This is going to be a great retreat. This is so lovely.
And you see, this is the thing. We have to, at some point, take a break from our programming. Everybody's programmed into their
Absolutely.
gerbil wheel. They're in a gerbil wheel. They're in a loop. They're in Groundhog Day. And so how do we take a moment and say, who am I? Why am I born? What do I really want? Is my life working? And if it's not, what am I going to do to have a pattern interrupt? We have to pattern interrupt. And so then I look at you as one of the masters, because I've been studying, like you said, the myth masters. I've been studying people that have been dead for a long time, looking at their lives. And now I found somebody alive, and you're here.
Playing my flute.
And I'm coming towards you. Every day I'm going to better my best. I'm never going to let it rest until the good gets better and the better gets best.
Absolutely. This is wonderful. So again, and people got to understand, like when I was coming in my development, and when I wanted to go learn something, know something, do something, I didn't let nothing hold me back. I want to go do it. That's what we got to do. Break down blockages. You can't take advantage of those moments for your development. So what I'm saying is, don't let nothing hold you back if this is for you. Break off those no's. Finances shouldn't stop you. Time shouldn't stop you. You understand? If this is for you, go for it.
You know what?
And that's what my development.
I want to say something about the development and the magic. When your imagination gets detoxed enough, and the shadow story is going to color it out. So that's like a perfect thing. When you get detoxed enough, your yes commands the universe to agree with you. Your word. First there was the word, and then there was creation. When I said yes to the test drive, it ended up in my driveway overnight. And then that's going to be in my reality. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know it's possible. My imaging center said yes, and now the universe is corresponding to my song. If you just say, yes, I want to do this, just give it a yes, and then allow the universe to agree with you. And listen, if you've got some doubters or some negative friends or some naysayers, don't tell anybody.
Absolutely.
Don't set yourself up to have to rocky it out. You know what I'm saying? You're not a body. Say yes to your soul, say yes to yourself, say yes to the universe, and then spend some time meditating until you get here to the city of angels.
Absolutely. And see, the key to it is, the main key is the alignment of ourselves with the universe. That's what it's all about. And a friend told me that one time. I was like, how am I going to do this? And they had to remind me. They said, if you're in tune with the universe, I can show you. You understand? That's it. But it's all up to you and how you're in tune with the universe. And when I understood that and started aligning myself, I'm basically doing anything I want to do. I'm living a life where everywhere I'm just showing up, doing things I never thought I could do. And it's all about being in alignment. So some people ask me sometimes, do you want to go back and do certain things that I've already outgrown? Absolutely not, because I'm enjoying this new lifestyle. Why would I want to go back to sleep? Absolutely not.
Okay, so I know we're getting close to our time limit, but I just wanted to say one other little thing that I wanted you to talk about, okay? Because living in a breatharian lifestyle, you've been in this for 2 decades. You say celibacy is an important fuel source. Can you tell me?
Absolutely. Now, listen at this. In our physical bodies, the greatest energy source is in our hip area. Let's go straight to the, we're going straight to the point now.
Let's go straight to the hips.
Right. And even in yoga, they usually try to open up that psoas muscle because there's a great energy coming up. Even in martial arts like Kung Fu, the power comes from the hips. So we got this now. So by knowing that the energy is there, you understand. We want to get this energy. That's why they're telling us in all the symbology about these serpents coming upwards. They're talking about because heat love to rise upwards. So of course, dealing with food is very important. Sex and food goes hand in hand. When you get the food out of that gut, that allows the heat to be able to rise with less blockages. Usually when a person goes impotent and all of this other stuff, the doctor usually says, lose some weight. What are you eating? What are your habits? You know, it all goes hand in hand. And when you lose your health, you lose your sexual drive. See, a sexual body is a healthy body. So when your body starts getting back in tune and getting healthy again, the blood is flowing, so you're going to feel sexy again. It goes hand in hand. But now, since we got this knowledge, and we got this energy flowing upwards, we want to maintain it. We
Right.
want that flow to keep going. And as it gets stronger and stronger, and you understand this, then you start watching how you spend your sexual energy.
Right.
It's very important because that's going to dictate your life. That too is very addictive when you get on that cycle. So you understand now you don't want to go back to sleep.
No.
You want this energy to flow.
I was celibate for like 2 years, okay? And I was living in the ashram, and I felt incredible energy, and I experienced like long periods of time, like 2 years, no jealousy. I felt so empowered. And then I met this guy who taught me, oh, do you have to do tantra to wake up? You have to be able to be in love, and you have to have sex and all this stuff. And let me just tell you, my energy lowered. I got angry. I got depressed. I got jealous. I mean, I turned into a person I didn't even like.
Right. I'm glad you said that.
I lost all my ground. Why did I lose all my ground for that?
Right. And see, that experience was necessary. See, when I say this out my mouth, people will look at me like this. But once you go through that experience, your energy will automatically increase when you stop having the orgasm. You understand? And it'll start absorbing itself, reabsorbing itself back into your blood flow. And when that happens, that transforms the blood over a period of time. It is sort of like when they go to a crime scene and they get a UV light or a black light, and they can see like the sexual energy, it'll glow. The sexual fluids, it'll glow. So if it glows and you're letting it go back into your blood, it automatically heightens your aura, because we're living in a UV field. You're living in a giant UV light. So it's a given for your energy to automatically heighten just from the sexual energy. That's why they use those words like kundalini and the serpent, and it's all coming upwards. And now start opening up your third eye, start feeding your brain. And see, this is the key. Your brain needs the most energy out of all the organs in your body. They'll tell you this in the medical field. So right now, the reason why a person is eating the denser foods, they feel that that's the way they need to get the energy. But when you start using the sexual energy to go upward and start letting it flow, it will replace the physical food, because the brain has a new fuel source to go off of. This is why people starve to death, and there's other stuff. They have not given their brain another fuel source. So we're not saying put tape on your mouth and stop eating. You got to learn how to give your body another fuel source and make a shift. There's a science to this, and we're going to teach you how.
Okay, you know, it's funny. I had somebody, I was telling them I was doing this retreat, and I'm working with you, and I was so excited. And they, you know, doubting and this and that, and they came up with their version of what this is, and was like, you're teaching people how to be anorexic. You're going to have people starve. You don't want people to eat on the planet. And I was like, wow, I didn't imagine you'd go there.
Right.
Do I look anorexic?
Exactly.
I don't look anorexic. I have so much light. I'm as positive for me as I can be. I'm so happy.
And see, that's what it is. This is why it's a holy grail to me to go around and educate people what Breatharian is and what it isn't. It is an education. If you don't know what it is, you don't understand, because you can't really go get mad at them, because that's the past things that happened in the past.
Right.
So that's what people going off. But once you get educated with this, if you go through the experience with somebody telling you, and you start working with your own energy, I don't have no problems with the deepest skeptic will say, I can see this. But you gotta work with these forces.
Because, well, first of all, it makes sense, because light begets light. And if you're taking that energy is neither created nor destroyed. So you have to use energy to burn calories. Everybody knows that. You need fuel to burn food. If you're not eating food, where's that energy going? It can take care of your body. It can clean out the toxins. It can be used for, like you said, creative ideas. You can become a genius with that energy.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about again. The bottom line is everybody's working with energy. A Breatharian is just a person who's a lot more skilled on how to use it. All I'm showing you is how to get the energy off of your breathing that everybody's doing, how to get energy from the earth, how to get energy from the sun. These forces is touching everybody, but they just don't know how to use it, you know, through ignorance. And your sexual energy that's in your body, yes, there's a way to do it. Sex is so powerful, it could build a house or it could tear one down.
Wow. Well, listen, I like what you said last time, which is get your house in order.
Absolutely. That's what we're dealing with right there. Very powerful force. So in other words, we are creatures of sex because we were born of sex, but to be born again, you also must be born of the sexual energy.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. You're going to be here in just like a nanosecond, and you're going to be sitting having the same conversation with me and a bunch of other angels in my living room. And
absolutely.
Consider this your home. This is your home. Anytime,
This is
every
awesome.
time, always.
And this is the great work. The angels is now walking here on the earth. This is awesome.
Okay, so we have a link below. It's 11/11. It's going to open up a portal, and it is 4:32 right now for the rest of the month. We're only going to take a certain amount of people because we do have just so much space. And please check out if you have the availability. We will. I have several of your clients that are typing me. Is there still space? Is there still space? So it's filling up. We already have people that are signing up. It's only been a week. It's going to go. And we're really excited. And we know in your soul and your heart, you've had this destiny appointment. And
absolutely.
Together. We're here doing it together. We're doing it together like a lotus.
Absolutely. And we're all looking forward to this. This is the great transformation. And those people will know when the call is in them, this is what it's all about. Just let go and just listen to yourself. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you know, I want to end on this is that in the Emerald Tablets by Thoth, who's the god of wisdom, it says when the light is in you and then the light calls you, the light activates the light and you become one with the light.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about again. Oneness, joining, coming together. This is awesome. It's sort of like when you said the revelation of the 7 churches or the 7 chakras. They also talk about the 2 candlesticks coming together with this in us. Both the male and female energy is in both, it's in both the male and the female. And what you're doing is you're making that join, which yoga means union with, that's in you. When it comes together, everything kicks online and you should be self-sustaining. This is what we're talking about.
I love you so
much. So again, this is good.
Okay, so blessings and light. Until next time, this is our second part of our Pranic StarBody Activation 7-day retreat in the city of Los Angeles.
Right.
At Palace Temple with Athena StarSeed and Elitom El-amin. Please subscribe to our channels. He's got hundreds and hundreds of videos all over the world, and you can listen to his lectures. And I still do every single day. I'm pumping myself up. I'm listening to you every time if I get hungry or cranky or anything, I just listen to your videos and I just feel so much energy and chi.
Absolutely. So again, we did a great job. Peace and blessings. And namaste.
Namaste. I love you so much. All right. See you soon. Stay tuned.